And many believers don't realize this. Your level of dedication determines your distinction in this kingdom. And as it were, he already made us. Don't struggle to be a king. Strive to be a servant. Oh, we live in a world today when everybody wants to appear to be king, to be ruler, to be in charge, to be in control. We live in a generation where very few want to be identified as a servant. But checking through scriptures, everyone who became distinct and distinguished in this kingdom were actually addressed by God as servants. And ask me what I want. If there's any title I want from God, I want him to call me his servant. It's automatic. If you're a servant, you become a king in this kingdom. If you serve, you become a ruler. So we are called not just to enjoy inheritance with Christ, but to also defend the interest of Christ. There is inheritance and there is interest of Christ. We are called not just to be beneficiaries of God's riches, but to serve as a blessing to mankind. Quick examples. Abraham was referred to as servant of God. Abraham, my servant. Abraham, my servant. He lived his life from the onset of his call as a servant. When he was leaving, he took Lot with him, his brother's son, and served his brother's son, Lot. Everything Abraham became, Lot was a duplicate of it. The Lord told me yesterday, he said, the cheapest way to be erased is to stop raising others. Those who raise others never get erased. If you don't want to be raised, keep raising others. Keep serving others. Lot, after leaving Abraham, was going to be destroyed with Sodom and Gomorrah. And Abraham went on his knees interceding. He was secured. He had no need to be praying for somebody else, like many of us today. But he behaved the servant again. He offered services until Lot was rescued. Abraham was a servant. His name has refused to die. You see, those who live for others live forever. Those who die for others to live don't die. Those who live for self have reduced themselves. If you are full of self, you will end as less. That was Abraham. Distinguished, distinct, never to be forgotten. Think about Moses. Another example. Moses, the servant of the Lord. That was a common title. Moses, my servant, has died. Moses, but my servant Moses is not so. A man with whom I speak mouth to mouth and face to face. The servant, the distinct, the distinguished. And think about David. I'm mentioning these names because these are names that refuse to die. It's over 3,000 years now that David passed on. A few decades ago, it was being celebrated 3,000 years after he declared Jerusalem as the city of the Lord. He served this generation. Acts chapter 13 verse 36. He served this generation. They were really meant to be for royalty, but they demonstrated loyalty. Loyalty to the kingdom is what empowers you for royalty with Christ in the kingdom. For if we suffer with him, we shall reign with him. If you serve with Christ, you will rule with Christ. That's what Timothy said. Only priests who serve will become kings to rule. The pathway to royalty is loyalty. Are you loyal to the kingdom? Are you just looking for the inheritance to benefit from or the services to render?